She's calling me. Guess I'll slide away. I've got to feel her touch most every day. She's warm and she's wild, calls me her child. I warm to her touch. She's my mother ocean. How I love.
As mentioned, I'm Steve Taylor. I'm the coordinate the Marine Option Program for Kauai Community College, and I'm going to very briefly introduce you to that program. Here, it is about. It's an educational program. It's an academic subject certificate program where students take some courses, but the main element of it, including oceanography, but the main element of it is that students do a project. And that's down here. And they're encouraged to do a project in the community that's of interest to them. So it's a very self-styled program of study to help them explore something they're interested in. And we rely heavily on people from the community, such as Dr. Berg from Surfrider. Dr. Chuck Blay has also been very helpful in that regard. Because as a coordinator, I can't be an expert about everything, and yet I want to provide the students opportunities to do whatever it is they want to do. So I'll try and find someone who knows more than I do about a particular subject and have them work together on something. And we really value that experience. There's a symposium every year where students who do their projects then can travel to the symposium. It's system-wide through the UH system, and they present their project with all their other peers presenting at other institutions, which is pretty neat. And our students have done very well there. We're a small community college in the UH system. We're competing against the University of Hawaii Manoa students and UH Hilo students who have much more in terms of courses and resources and researchers and opportunities on their islands. And yet, say, in the internship category, we've won it 3 of the last 5 years, our students at Kauai. It's a really a source of pride for us and a great opportunity for students. It can be, their project can be about anything from art to science. A lot of them are scientific, but it's really personalized to have anything to do with the ocean or freshwater environments for the student. I did want to briefly mention science for just a second, that we have a relatively new science program at Kauai Community College where students can take the first 2 years of any kind of physical or biological science and then transfer, or just use that as a credential itself. And we have all the physics and the chemistry and the calculus and the biology that a student would need if they're going into a physical or biological science. Those first 2 years, it's usually a very set curriculum, and we have all those core courses. And we just wanted students to know that they can do that all here. They don't have to go over to some 4-year program on the mainland or wherever to start their science degree. They can do that here and save a lot of money and be with their ohana. And we're proud of that development as well. We have very excellent math and science teachers. But one of those 2 programs in particular, and we have a lot of great programs on our college. I won't talk about the others because I'm focused on science. Our community college was just voted the 16th best community college in the nation, and this is out of over 700 community colleges that were sampled. This is from Washington Monthly Magazine, is the one that did the ranking system, and they based it upon not just degrees and certificates, but the experience that students have in the classroom. There's a survey that they use data from this survey that's done by a third independent party about students' classroom experience, things about how they're engaged and how much homework they have and that kind of thing. So we're very excited about that. I did want to share that. So on to the students. I wanted to, oh yeah.
I was just wondering, these sound like really interesting projects they've done. Are they available for people to kind of read what they found in any of these?
Well, that's great. You're going to hear about one in just a moment, or a few. But one of those students is here to present her project. But I did want to tell you about a little bit about the other ones. Dr. Berg showed one of the first ones. This is the second symposium we've had with. We're honored by these UH researchers coming out from Manoa. They came in December 2011 and did the same sort of thing. And our students were involved in that, and out of that meeting, one of the students put together a program to reward any local fishermen who spotted something that could be possibly identified with tsunami debris. And she was from a local fishing family and had those kinds of connections that we just didn't have. And she wanted to try and make it a forum where people can very easily and quickly get that information to Dr. Maximenko, because he's craving that information. I don't know if he conveyed how interested he is in getting that information from you all and other community members on the islands. So please contact Dr. Berg or myself. You can, if you want to know more about any of these things, you can just call KCC and ask for the oceanography guy, and they'll put you in touch with me. That's how we do it here. But there is a URL on there you can look at, but I doubt you're going to remember that. So another student working on that was Zena, who did our pule at the beginning here, and she parlayed her project into continued work with Surfrider, and she coordinates now their beach cleanups on the island here. Another was Jessica Austin, who has been sampling a couple beaches on the northeast side before the tsunami hit to see what's the baseline, what kind of stuff does wash up on our shore, cataloging carefully what was washing up. I won't go into too much detail because that project was then taken over by Jessica Frost here, because the first Jessica Austin was doing it for about a year, and she went on to do other things for Surfrider as well. And then Jessica Frost came on to the college. We have to deal with that at a community college, a lot of turnover. And she, very thankfully for us, she picked up where the other had left off, and she's going to present some of her work on that. If you want to know more about the projects, other projects, feel free to contact me. And again, you can just call the college, or I can give you my email after this if you want to contact me. So, Jessica, if you want to share your project, I'll try and pull it up for you here. Are you the folder, Jessica Frost?
And then it's the blue one.
Where's print? Oh, there it goes. There's a pointer here, but this will blind people, so be very careful.
Just hit that little, oh, yeah. This, yeah.
Do you need to hit this icon here?
Uh-huh.
That one?
Uh-huh.
Okay, there you go.
Hi, I'm Jessica Frost. I'm a student here at KCC, and for my marine research project, I was working with Dr. Carl Berg with Surfrider, monitoring the debris at Larson's and Waipake Beach. So I just basically did like a weekly beach cleanup at the same two beaches. We would get anything larger than an inch and smaller than a foot was cataloged just based on like plastic, glass, that kind of stuff. And anything that was larger than a foot we measured and we took photos of. Anything that seemed hazardous or unusual we would report right away. I would check it for like invasive species like the mussels that they were talking about and stuff like that. I didn't find any of that, but we were keeping an eye out for it, and anything else that seemed like it might, be hazardous or have radiation, we checked. We didn't find anything, and it was really good because it helped us to see like the trends, what started getting here, when it started getting here, based on like the windage and stuff. So this is just like an example of what we would find on a typical, that's just 1 week of debris. We did this every week, and that's the kind of stuff we'd find. We'd find mostly foam, a lot of buoys, a lot of just hard pieces of plastic, glass bottles. That's a tank that we got in November. We got a bunch of large things like that, but it wasn't really like a regular occurrence. Most of the stuff that we got was smaller. We started seeing the lumber in September, and it's still coming up a lot. We're still getting a lot of lumber. So this is just showing basically an overview, the number of items per 1,000 meters square that we saw. It's both beaches combined, but we did stop doing Waipake in November, so the numbers are a little bit different after November. Again, mostly hard plastics, foams. And this is a breakdown by type, so 90% of what we got is plastic. And that includes like foam, film, all that kind of stuff. It's just all plastics. Plastics by type, mostly hard plastic. We did see a lot of buoys and floats too, but it's basically the same thing. It's a lot of slides of the same stuff. This is the foam data that we saw, which was really interesting because the foam is really affected by the windage because it floats. So the data starts in 2012 and we have it up until 2014, and you can see that it definitely peaked. We have got most of it because the foam gets here a lot faster than the other stuff because it has the really high windage. So my project is continuing at least until the end of May, possibly through August, but most of the stuff that I've been getting has been smaller, so we've definitely seen a decline in that recently. But there's a lot of stuff still washing up on our beaches from the tsunami and just, regularly. So I'll still be out there picking it up, and if you guys see anything, please report it. Thank you.
She's calling me. Guess I'll slide away. I've got to feel her touch most every day. She's warm and she's wild, calls me her child. I warm to her touch. She's my mother ocean. How I love her. Often she rages. It's anticipated.